on Adam Does Stuff 25, we're gonna change that to this. First, what you're gonna wanna do, shut off the power. That goes to the fan. First, we're gonna remove this ring here, and then you see you're gonna just unscrew these screws, loosen it up, pull it from the ceiling. After you remove this screw, this one should just be able to slide out and up. Now, anytime I'm removing anything electric, I always try to make sure that I'm aware of what wire was attached to what. In this case, it was real simple. The black was connected to black, white was connected to white, ground is just connected to the ground, which is a green, and the red, this was the third one, which was connected to a blue wire, which is probably going to be associated with the fan. More on this later. Next, we're going to unscrew the bolts that are holding the bracket into the ceiling, and then we'll take a look. Now, I should also probably mention that if you're not so sure about whether the power is on or not, now I shut off the power at the power box, but if you're not sure, get you one of these, a voltage tester. It'll tell you whether the line is still reading a hot or if it's been shut off. And in this case, turn it on, and so far it's green. Now it'll blink red if any one of these wires is hot, and they're not, so green is good to go. All right, so in my setup here, I removed this bracket, all right, and then I drilled 2 holes here because it lines up with my box. It's just an easier way to get through. All right, with the bracket on, we can now attach the wires. Black goes to black, white goes to white, ground goes to ground, and then we're gonna figure out what to do with this red one. All right, so on the old setup, I had 2 switches, one that powered the fan and then the rest that powered the light. So this is just running on a different switch, so we're gonna put a nut on that. We're gonna connect black to black, white to white, and the ground to our ground. Now, a couple things. Once I made my wiring and connected it, I was right with capping the other switch. That's just this one over here that does nothing. Okay, so this now powers the entire fan and the light together. So after I made the connection and I turned the power back on the power box, and then we just used this fan. Now this fan kind of comes with a bunch of different settings. You can turn the light on, the fan on down here, a 2-hour timer. You can adjust the brightness if you don't like the warm white. You can go for a more bright white, and I think then they call like a natural light with that. So whatever your vibe is, and you can change the lighting temperature here. You can also set this up on your phone through the QR code that comes with it in the box, and then I guess some sort of Wi-Fi setup here. These are the fan speeds, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a little nightlight action. Kind of just dims everything down. You can also dim the lighting, you know, however you like it, but that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple to change the fans. And it makes a big difference in the room. It actually decreases the height. The other fan came down to about here, super bulky. This is gonna do the trick. And then also, you know, when she goes to sleep at night, she can just shut off the fan, or keep a timer on, and it'll go off automatically later in the evening. All right, that's all for Adam Does Stuff 25. Like and subscribe. And we'll probably post another video because I'm going to do another fan in another room. Let's watch that transformation. All right, peace! Okay, here on Adam Does Stuff 25, this is the second fan that we're going to replace. Now, this one has 4 screws at the top, so you got to unloosen those, okay? First, you're going to shut the power off at the source, not just the light switch. You're going to turn the power off. Then we're going to disconnect the wires, and it should come off pretty easy. So let's go to the next step. Just kidding, there's a pin here. You gotta remove this pin right there, and then you should be able to take the actual fan base off, and then we'll take off the wire. Okay, so with the fan removed, I got the wires hanging. I capped off the red wire because this one does not have a red wire. We just have a neutral and a line, and then the ground is on the mounting bracket, So all that means is we're gonna just only turn it on now with the one switch rather than the light and fan switch. So we're just gonna use this, cap off the red switch for the fan, and then everything's just gonna be controlled through the remote control that comes with it. So simple. All right, we got the new mounting bracket installed. We pulled the wires through the middle here. It's held in by 2 screws, and it's not coming out. So we're gonna put on the new fan now. We're gonna attach the wires, ground to ground, neutral to neutral, black to black, and then put everything, tuck everything inside this junction box, and then put the fan on. 4 screws. Now this particular fan comes with a little hook here, like a little loop that attaches to this hook, which is gonna be crucial when you're installing the wires. And after you connect the wires, all you gotta do is just put the 4 additional screws to lock in the top. And like so, you have, oh, I turned the power back on, by the way. You got a lighting feature, but also a fan too. Just hit the remote and it turns right on.